Good evening. Welcome to Washington. I'm Brett Baer. Breaking tonight, new allegations that the FBI overstepped its authority in conducting investigations against American citizens. And not just a few times. We're talking in the hundreds of thousands of times. Correspondent David Spont is at the Justice Department tonight with the breaking details. Good evening, David.
Brett, good evening. This story is quite something. This court document released just a few hours ago found that the FBI misused a popular digital surveillance tool on everyday Americans more than 278,000 times in 2020 going into 2021. We're specifically talking about Section 702 of the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, also known as FISA. It gives the FBI and other agencies the ability to digitally surveil without a court order or a warrant. We now know the FBI used the tool on people connected to the civil unrest following the death of George Floyd on the streets of the United States, those involved in the January 6th Capitol attack, even political donors. According to the court, a redacted name or names, quote, conducted a batch query for over 19,000 donors to a congressional campaign. The analyst who ran the query advised that the campaign was a target of foreign influence, but the National Security Division determined that only 8 identifiers used in the query had sufficient ties to foreign influence activities to comply with the querying standard. The judge wrote that the problems were persistent and widespread, and, quote, it may become necessary to consider other responses, such as substantially limiting the number of FBI personnel with access to unminimized Section 702 information. Federal intelligence officials are pushing hard and begging Congress practically to fully re-up Section 702, all in the name of safety. It expires December 31st of this year.
It is critical that Congress fully renew Section 702 of the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, which provides fast, reliable, and specific insights that enhance our understanding of the threats posed by our adversaries.
We're seeing some bipartisan action on Capitol Hill. Republicans and Democrats not happy. Congressman Jerry Nadler said today the FBI has promised changes before, quote, without significant changes to the law to prevent this abuse, I will oppose the reauthorization of this authority. Now, government data, and I'm reading it now, shows the FBI conducted approximately 204,000 queries, a 94% drop from 2021 going into 2022, citing that they've made some changes. In a statement we just got from the FBI, they quote the director, Christopher Wray, saying this is, quote, completely unacceptable. But, Brett, no doubt this caps off a difficult week for the Federal Bureau of Investigation, which began criticism from the Durham report on Monday, and of course those FBI whistleblowers yesterday. Now we have this story today about the surveillance program. Brett,
tough week for the FBI. David Spont at the Justice Department.